The first thing that comes up is all of our excuses, all of our reasons why we shouldn't be doing this, all of the but things that sound like perfectly good reasons why we should be abusing ourselves rather than eating food that loves us as much as we love it. I bump my head against my family many times. My family now accepts that I'm going to eat the way I'm going to eat and that they're not going to be able to entice me, and they're not, and they're okay with it, and nobody says anything anymore, and except my sister, and she always will. But and I'm honored. I mean, I've got 3 family members in the audience this time, and I just can't even tell you how happy that makes me. They come around eventually if you're consistent. But come on, I mean, in my family we went on every diet. One after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. We stayed on Weight Watchers for 25 years, but even then eventually ended up on the next. And I understand that this isn't a diet, but it's a way to reach enough people when you say, hey, read this book. They're not ready to change their lifestyle, but they're willing to look at another diet. I'm not telling other people what to do. I'm just shining a light, being a lighthouse, and if the boat wants to go on the rocks, they can go on the rocks. It's the hardest part of this entire thing is watching your family kill themselves with their food while they could be taking great care of themselves. It's the hardest thing to sit back and say nothing. I'm not sure that it's right to sit back and say nothing, but I know that the most effective thing I can do is remain healthy. I haven't missed a day due to illness since December 15th, 1980. Right? That succeeding is the strongest lighthouse that I can possibly shine. That to be relatively healthy, that to stay reasonably fit, that to be happy, to be clear of mind, body, spirit in every way, to love myself more. There's no way I'm going to love other people more unless I can learn to love myself more. But I promise you that when it's hot outside, people don't stop eating cooked food. Just because it's cold outside, they say, oh, you know, I should stop eating room temperature food. But when it's hot outside, they don't stop eating cooked food. And when it's cold outside, do they stop drinking cold beer? Do they stop eating cold ice cream? No, in fact, we all are tropical creatures. We are creatures that must live in a tropical environment. We are designed to be within 1,000 miles of the equator in that tropical environment, or we cannot survive unless we take the tropics with us. And so we all create a mini tropical environment in which we live at all times, known as clothing, bedding, and heat. And if your friend was to say to you, you know, I live on the street, naked, in Manhattan, and in January, when the sidewalk is frozen and my butt is on that ice-cold sidewalk, I really want to eat something warm because it helps. I could understand. But if they're in their apartment where it's 72 degrees, just like it is in the summertime, and they're wearing their clothing, and they've got bedding, excuse me, why do you have to have warmer food in the winter than in the summer? We've made it all the same. We've made it into a tropical environment where we use clothing, bedding, and heat to always be comfortable. We don't rely on food to get warm. You get warm when you're active. You get warm when you're hugging somebody. You get warm when you're playing. You want to get warm? Move around.